Hello, you guys. It is the Pretty Coach here. Naeem Shikam, also formerly known as Leo's Love Tarot, and also the Pretty Coach Oracles. I am coming to do a general reading. This is going to be more like just the energetic, spiritual messages for us today. Of course, love can come out because it's everything, it's a part of all, right? So, without further ado, I've already shuffled all cards. I've literally already set my intentions for this reading, and we're going to go ahead and hop in. I also want to ask you guys, those who may come across this reading, please let me know whether or not you would like for me to start doing individual sign readings here on this channel. I used to do it back in the day, but a lot of people didn't, you know, interact with it, so I stopped. But if you guys are open to that, please let me know. I'm only going to do one card from this deck because these explanations can be a bit lengthy. So the first card we have here. Ooh, okay, powerful. So let me tell you guys what my intentions were so that you can be on the same page with me and you can know whether or not this is for you or if it's not. So first and foremost, my prayer was that the messages be for myself as well as for the collective, who are connected to myself for the highest good of all of us. So essentially, to me, that means that the messages are going to resonate a great deal with me, but I'm hoping that whoever else is meant um, to see these messages, it will also resonate with you guys. First card out, it says that it's the number 33, Ascended Master, Helios, and Citrine. I'm gonna tell y'all now already, I feel like this is definitely heavy Leo energy. First of all, Helios is what the Latin word for sun. And literally, it says it is your time to shine. Citrine is also a crystal that is associated heavily with the sign of Leo. All right. It can help with our solar plexus chakra. It can also help with clearing emotions and helping, heal with emotional trauma, things like that. So it says your time to shine. So let's get it in the booklet so I can make sure. I'll be right back. You guys, me reading from the booklet, the understanding of this card, it is so fitting. So, just so this won't be super long, it seems as if there is about to be a time where there's going to be an immense amount of darkness. The way that the book talked about this shining was like that of a lighthouse, right? And the lighthouse stands both through the daytime and through the night, right? And what they're really talking about in this part of the book is this darkness that is going to come because of a storm, if that makes sense, and discussing the strength of the lighthouse, like the strength of the light itself. The light is it's absolutely best used in service of those in darkness. Let's be 100% clear. So, one of the beautiful ways that it mentioned, and I know that this resonates personally for myself, so I know it's going to resonate with some of us. You guys, there are some of us who are healers, or you may not even call yourself a healer. You're just a person living your life who has experienced a lot of traumatic events from childhood as well as into adulthood, your adolescence, and you've weathered a lot of storms, and they have in fact made you. They have helped to shape you. And to be quite honest, I don't feel like they made us. I think I really want to switch that because it's not that it made us. The spirit of the living God that indwells within us is what created us before we got here in this physical form. We were already created to be this way. So, what I feel is that the way that you are as a person in the darkness, the way that you have weathered the storms, it's because you were designed for that. It's because this is really why you're here. And I feel like a sense of heavy emotion coming over me right now, like to the point that I really do want to cry. I am trying not to, right? But I am speaking to people who are genuinely strong because it's how you've been made. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there are waves of emotion, waves of pain, of heartache, even that you feel due to not only your own, but the heartache and things that you feel from other people as well. And the light that somehow, the light, the love, the energy to continue to shine, the energy to continue to be true to your authentic self has come up and it has come out. And like there's nothing you can do about it. Like I was having this conversation with myself, I was channeling, and I was saying how I would love to be a person sometimes, or this is what I think, that I would love to be a person who can put up their boundaries and who can really, really cut people off when they hurt me or when I feel misunderstood by them, or if I feel like they're doing something to me that I don't like and I would like to remove myself. But it came up and it came out that that is genuinely not the person that I am, and that when people hurt me or when their hurt latches on to me and I am wounded because of it, who I really am is what always comes up first. Like me thinking of hurting them back is usually a second thing or a third thing down the line. This is not my first reaction. My first response is usually to be very understanding. My first response is to really see what's happening at that time, knowing that this is not exactly always who this person is, unless of course spirit really shows me that if I can truly see what is attacking me, there's no way I can be mean to the person. There's no way I can disengage with them in that time. Like they need to experience me more in those moments than ever. And that's what I've always done. And I'm speaking to other people who are like myself. You have been a person who has gone through some very dark experiences. And yet and still, the person who you are at your core is love. The person who you are at your core is compassion. Period. And the way that they're talking about shining is not necessarily in some grandiose stage. It's not necessarily on, being a performer and, what have you, and having these grand titles. Is actually not that at all. They're talking about being who you are in the midst of chaos around you. Who are you? I'm trying not to cry. Who are you as people's wounds and their darkness rears up at you, says hurtful things, absolutely does hurtful things? Who do you become? Who do you exhibit? Those who are true light beings are about to be experienced. And there's about to be some heaviness, some darkness, whether on a micro, so I say micro to say personal level, or if this is going to be on a macro, more worldwide, more global, more outside of you and your immediate family or what have you. It could really be a mixture of both. Like with the way that I've observed this life is, it's usually going to be a mixture of both. And the light beings are going to absolutely have to utilize and draw from the reserves of strength that is them. It's not something they have to go and learn how to do. Like, no, this is who we are. The way that we actually learned how to do it is because of the hard shit that we've always been through. It always exposes who we are. Period. It continues to expose more and more of who we are. Spirit is suggesting that we prepare like we, as much as we can. I'm going to go ahead and read the integration and I'm going to move on. This prayer I pray for myself and I pray for all who are like us. I call upon the crystal angel of citrine and ascended master Helios, who love us unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing and blessing of my time to shine. May my light be self-perpetuating. I have to say this. This means it doesn't depend on somebody else outside of you. It doesn't depend on what some other person is doing or what they're not doing. This is who you are. This is going to be how you choose to show up, whether somebody was around or whether they weren't around. That it only needs you to be, to exist. You, your mind, your consciousness, your feelings is all it needs to exist. It doesn't need anybody else. We don't need fuel from other people. It comes from within us and it radiates outward. Here we go. Shining the truth of love that I can feel in my heart and that is felt in the hearts of all that need encouragement in their dark night, to be brave enough to stay true until the dawn breaks. May peace, hope, optimism, and joy fill me through my struggle. Fill me through my spiritual connection and radiate out into the world. May all beings who struggle, suffer, feel lost and afraid be warmed by love and uplifted by the light. Through unconditional love, divine compassion, and my own free will, so be it. What a wonderful. It says, as the overall energy here at the bottom of the deck, it says 54, the goddess Pele and lava stone. It says melt into divine desire. The crystal goddess 888. This number is 333 or 33. So some of you guys could resonate with those numbers, and the number 888 as well as the number 9. I don't want to read that one because that one will take too long, but just what I got, melt into divine desire. Like, first of all, melting, lava, that gives me volcano and volcanic activity. So I believe that something with the volcano could happen, okay? There could be a volcanic eruption. But melting into divine desire. This is talking about destiny as far as I'm concerned. It's talking about fate. It's talking about both the beginning and the end, like what was already set in stone from the beginning. Going according to the flow of the divine, according to the flow of spirit. And for many of us, because of the darkness that is getting ready to be experienced, like, first of all, let's be clear, it's already dark. It's already dark. Okay, but it's about to get darker. Spirit is telling us to be prepared to be who we really are, who we've always been. Not to go try to get out of the darkness, because listen, you can't escape it. Like, this is what you're meant for. So for some of us, we try to leave situations and scenarios and people alone because we're like, I don't deserve this. I want to be in the light. I want to have peace. I want to have this and that and the third. And it's not that that's not right to do, but it's like, listen, you are called for this. You are literally a being that can replenish itself. And if you think about it, whoever this is for, if you're like me, you oftentimes have to repair and replenish yourself. You have to go into recovery yourself. And you can do it while you're in the middle of the darkness. And now ask me how I know. How I know is because the times that I have grown the most, that I've learned who Jude is the most, it was in some of the darkest times of my life. Be it that I put myself there, which to me is all about melting into divine destiny, or be it that I accepted of my own free will to walk in something that I felt God was saying, you need to do this. Like when I say God says it, it really sounds like me, but I have this overwhelming feeling that I have to experience it. And I understand before it even happens, I understand that I have to go through this. And once I'm done, I'll understand why I had to go through it. And that is usually always what happens for me. So some of us are going to be choosing of our free will. And it may not look dark initially, right? But the point that I'm making is that we still have a choice, and a lot of us still choose. Because of who we are, we absolutely choose to do this. For some of you guys, because this is Leo energy, it could be in the form of a relationship, in the form of a romantic partnership that could come up all of a sudden. All right. And it could be fated for this to happen. Moving on. Red Jasper came out first, and Beryl. Spirit, I thank you so much. At the bottom of the deck is gold with quartz. The colors gold and white may be somehow significant. Let's get this from my, let's get the understanding from the booklet for here as well. Give me a moment, you guys. Let me find the booklet. All right, so with the overall energy, which is the gold with quartz, let's read some information about it. It says physically grounding, abstract ideas and inspirations. It says several wonderful ideas and inspirations are filtering through into your physical reality. These ideas and inspirations, which stem from your soul, will help you to manifest many of the things your heart has for so long desired. Over the coming days, your intuition will be strong and you will have a greater sense of the universal spirit that flows through all things. Through this, a newfound sense of joy and wonder emerges, one which transforms your life. Give thanks for this blessing and allow it to inspire and illuminate your heart and mind. Your ideas and inspirations are divinely guided, so trust them. So thankfully, it just so happens that the next card, like the first card that came out, the red jasper, is right next to this, so that's great. It says nurture, care, protection, energy flow, and life force. You may soon find yourself drawn into a situation in which you feel compelled to care for and protect someone who is in need of help. This may be a person or a pet that has recently suffered from some kind of trauma. Now, if this is not on point already, I don't know what is. This may be a person or a pet that has recently suffered some kind of trauma and is suffering from anxiety or depression. Your love and attention will help them heal, and simultaneously, you will subconsciously heal an aspect of yourself that is also yearning to be nurtured. You will heal an emotional trauma that you experienced in the past, possibly in your childhood. This is what citrine, didn't I mention that earlier? Let me not even take too long. Possibly in your childhood, or it may even stem from a past life. There is no need to recollect the past or even try to figure anything out. Remember that we each mirror one another, and self healing automatically occurs when we care for another's needs. Trust in the healing power of love. You know, because I literally feel like for as long as I can remember, the way that I heal people and the way that I too am healed is through relationships. So a lot of my deepest wounds and deepest healings happen in relationships with people. So the romantic ones, the ones that you thought was gonna be forever but it wasn't, and even friendships. And you know, it makes a lot of sense because the sign of Leo is connected to the heart chakra. And I believe that God allows for us to learn how to love in all the different levels and aspects that exist. First, yes, through ourselves, but also through other people. Like, let's be very clear. Until you recognize that we are mirror, like that every connection that you've experienced is really somehow a fragmented part of yourself. And when you experience them, whether for the positive or the perceived negative, it's you experiencing a portion of yourself that either needs to be acknowledged or needs to be healed. Until you really recognize that, you continue to get in and out of relationships, be it friendships or romantic partnerships. You continue going in and out of them. That is until you recognize that the most important one is yourself. So then sometimes people stop, you know, and they take a break and then they only deal with themselves for a while. But even still, you're going to come out eventually of that hermit energy and you're going to experience relationships again. It will require you not to exist in order for you not to experience a relationship, whether it's work, whether it's family, friendship, or like I said, romantic. Let me keep on going. Love. To love and to be loved is why we are here. All the other stuff, it helps. It educates us by telling us what we don't like and what we do like. How we don't like to feel and what we don't like, you know, for others to make us feel like, or how we don't want to make other people feel, yada, yada, yada. All of that, all of that is absolutely teaching us how to love, how first to love ourselves and other people. But that sometimes happens backwards, which really isn't backwards. It's like an infinity symbol instead. It really can go either way. For example, somebody may come into this life and they may choose to believe that they don't want to be with anyone and they would rather be by themselves because it is just less of a hassle. So they choose to pour all of their energy and everything into themselves. In doing that, they still wind up attracting people because people love, like there's going to be a part of them that is so radiant, so bright because of the love they chose to give themselves. It's going to attract others who do not have that love for themselves to them. And so at some point you're gonna be in connection with somebody because somebody's gonna want to be connected to you. Whether it's others who think exactly like you or if it's somebody who doesn't have what you have but they want it. Vice versa. There's this person who they're so loving outwardly, they give of themselves to other people because they feel that they did not receive that. And quite naturally, it could also be that they're not giving it to themselves first, it's like they should. And then giving away to everyone else and feeling left out or feeling depleted after all is said and done, it will cause them to sit there behind down, get still for a moment, and decide, you know what? I'm going to do this for me. Fuck everybody else. I'm about to do this for me. It could go either way. Let's get into the barrel card, shall we? Resolution, stress reduction, potential new possibilities. An ongoing problem or dilemma will soon be resolved and in an unexpected way. As a consequence, your stress levels and anxiety will decrease. Through this, exciting new pathways open for you, and you discover new possibilities for your life. As this current situation is resolved, you will simultaneously and subconsciously let go of a past regret or guilt that has only served to sabotage the creative possibilities that have been available for you for quite some time. It is time for you to shine. Open your heart and you'll see the unlimited potential that resides within you. God, you're amazing. That's all I'll say with that. God, you are amazing. Y'all, I'm trying not to cry. I really, really am. I'm trying my hardest not to cry. I'm doing a really good job because, baby, the waterworks would have already didn't happened. They would have. They would have happened already. So I'm so grateful right now that they have not because I'm trying hard. You guys, and a thought that came to my mind was that the person who could have anxiety and stress is us as well. So while we'll be helping somebody else's thing, this reminds me of that that song that the so-called Negro, who I know is the Hebrews and the Native Americans here, the way that there's a gospel song back in the 90s when it was like really popping. It was a song, While You're Trying to Figure It Out, God's Already Worked It Out. I want to say it was by Dottie Peoples. Point is, it's the part that just hit me was, while you're trying to figure it out, God has already worked it out. And this is the thing. It's like while you're helping somebody else, while you're focusing on someone else, God is literally going to be working out your own shit. I said, I don't know if it was in my twin flame reading no more or if it was in a general reading, but it could have been a mixture of both. I mentioned something about birds, and here we go with birds again. This is our last card here. At the bottom of the deck, I see the coffin. So death in some way is very it's going to be pivotal. It could even be the death and the resurrection of a connection, whether it's family, friend, romantic partnership, whatever, marriage, covenant, whatever. The number 8 is here. I feel like the number 8 is like the infinity symbol. I also feel like that is connected to the sign of Leo. So maybe sometime around the summer, something may pop off around the summer or around the 8th month, which technically is considered, in my mind, according to October, but with the shenanigans, August. Okay. My birthday month. Anyways, I digress. Here we go. This is the number 35, which is also another 8. 888, which that already showed itself in melting into the damn divine desire. That's right there. All right, Spirit, the anchor, which I'm going to have to find right now so I don't take life. Let's go ahead and get it. The coffin as the overall energy, let's read it. 8 days, 8 months, 8 years. These are time frames that could matter or they don't matter at all, okay? Change within life is inevitable. Even the most painful ending has a promise of a new beginning to follow. The coffin card often appears as we are transitioning, doing an involuntary change. There may be a stage of mourning and sadness as you are forced to either bury something deeply within or let something or someone go and start a new path, a void of their or its presence. Let it go and let the pain go as well. Joy will find you again. Make room for it. If it's in love, this is a troubled union that may have to be buried and put away. If the entire relationship doesn't meet its end, then surely some aspects of it will. But it's going to be okay. New love will find you again. If it's in career, this is a time of transition that may lead to big changes. Even if you must leave a job, abandon a project, or even change directions, know that you must let this go to make room for a new opportunity. Because a new chapter awaits, and it's time to turn the page. With health, this can deal with depression or severe illness. Underneath that coffin card, I see the fish, which always makes me think about Pisces. So Pisces energy is connected here, okay? Let's go to the 35. I see a whale in this card, and I see the anchor. There's probably more, but that's just what I see off the top. So 35 days, 35 months, or 35 years. After traveling your journey and dropping your anchor, you have reached the goal of stability. Oh, that sounds like good news for some of us. Like I have been wanting that. Okay, anyway, I've been wanting that. Let me just say that. The anchor card can represent persistence that has brought on long-lasting and faithful results. If there had been a storm, you weathered it. Kind of like that lighthouse energy. And if there's one brewing, you are prepared for it. For it is here that you are positively settled, safe, and secure. If it's in love, you may be in a committed and stable relationship where parties within the union are faithful, but be careful to not start feeling tied down. If it's in a career, you may be now beginning or have been on a job project that will be long lasting. This represents long-term stability and successful ventures. The health, if it's in regards to health, your condition is stable. This can deal with the hips and also the pelvic bone. Pelvic bone. That sounds like really good news. So this is what it sounds like. Like even if there's like let's say that this is in relationships, whatever it is. All right, it's possible that you could have to let something go altogether or someone go altogether. Okay. If it's not that the whole thing has to go, there's an aspect of your connection that is absolutely about to experience change, resolution, healing is about to be brought to it. And thus, healing the whole connection. Changing the direction of the connection as it has been. It will change. All right, the next card we have the letter, which is 7 and 2, which is the number 9. And I did say something about the number 9. Let's see what the letter says. Let's look at that big old beautiful sun back there. Or it could also be considered a full moon. Let's get it. 27. 27 days, 27 months, and 27 years, or the number 9. The letter card is about all forms of written communication. This can include emails, written correspondences, files, documents, and news coming in. Look to the surrounding cards to pinpoint what type of written communication is coming. But all in all, just know that whatever it is, you'll have it on paper. Don't even try to figure it out, y'all. Remember, Spirit already told us, let's not even try to figure this out. Let's not do it. Let's just wait. Okay, let's just wait. Let's just wait and see what happens. If it's in love, this can involve a written correspondence of some sort with a loved one. You could also possibly be engaging in an online or a pen pal relationship. If it's in career, then some information is coming to you in the form of a memo, an email, an invoice, or just general paperwork. And it's probably important, so be sure to read the fine print. If it's in matters of health, this can deal with the hands and fingers, prescriptions, and also test results. keep in mind that the beginning of our reading with the spiritual energy, they were telling us about darkness that was getting ready to surround us and how we actually thrive and we shine most in dark times. Dark times is relative, right? Or it's subjective. One person may think something is dark, and another person is like, oh, that's not bad. That's not dark at all. It's da 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 da. So, whatever dark could be for you could potentially be what this is connected to, or you just may not recognize what darkness is until you're in it. This can deal with health, it can deal with loved ones, the death or the passing and transition of a person, or it could deal with the end of something, the end of a relationship, the ending of a mentality, the end of even a pet. But I'm feeling an energy of feeling lost, like LOSS. And in that LOSS, somebody could feel LOST. Point I'm making, all in all, the biggest point is that Spirit wants you to know that you're not lost and that you're not alone. That you can dig within the reservoir that is you and the connection that you have to Source, to God, to Spirit, to your higher self. And you absolutely will be okay. And you absolutely will be able to, you know how when we lose something or someone, we be nervous that the void is going to be that thing that you can't replace. And here's the thing, it's not even about replacing a person, place, thing, idea, or object. It's about just using that energy, using that space again. Using that muscle again. You go through a divorce, you go through a tremendous breakup, someone in your life dies, whether it's a tragic death or if it's even a peaceful death, but you feel like, oh my God, there's this void that's missing. How am I going to feel that? And the truth of the matter is, keep on living. And I also am remembering about the free will choice that you have. Choose to see goodness. Choose maybe even to ask Spirit, what is your will for this situation? For me, like, how do you, my highest self, how should I respond to this that's happening? Whether it's a breakup with someone, if you're having to choose to leave a partner because of whatever the Spirit is telling you, whatever the case is, or if that partner leaves you abruptly and you're like shocked because you're like, I thought things were going well. Hey. Asking your highest self, what am I actually supposed to get from this? What am I supposed to be learning from this? That, along with feeling your emotions and not trying to act like you do not have them, those are some of the biggest key things that I've learned help with our healing. And the sooner that we ask those questions, the sooner that we make the choice to feel our feelings, yes, be honest and rawly feel those, and then ask the question, what Spirit do you have for me to get from this? Baby, you can bet your bottom dollar that those answers are going to start to come to you in the form of your own thoughts or in the form of something that you hear on the radio, the television, from a whole nother being, from a person. Trust me, you will receive the answers, and you're going to know when you receive them. Because the pain and the hurt and the heaviness that you feel will be so great that it's going to be hard for you to forget. Just saying. Moving on. That's the letter card. Last but not least, we've got the bird card. Let's go get it. That is the number 12, which can be added together and make the number 3. 12 days, 12 months, 12 years, or the number 3. The energy of the birds is full of communicative exchange, negotiations, and restless activity. When you think of how birds gather and chatter loudly and fly about in a group, know that their nervous and anxious energy can lead to both negotiations and gossip among those involved. This is a great time of great activity in your life, and you are possibly putting in a lot of energy to get to your next destination. On the other hand, the Birds card can represent being distracted by this tumultuous energy and unable to focus on your goal. You're going to have to quiet the noise in your mental space. It will lead to the focus of flight. If it's in love, this card points to, hold on, you guys. If it's in love, this card points to the enjoyment of the single life, dating multiple partners, and enjoying flirty conversations. It's all you need at the moment. And if it's a matter of career, then you could be gearing up for a job interview or experiencing some job related stress. It can be difficult to work with all the different birds of the sky, but in the work environment, there must be some type of harmony in order for the flock to fly. So, if it's in regards to health, this can deal with blood pressure issues and also throat issues. I'll say this: what I feel is that all of this is accurate for us. I just do. What I think is that in regards to work, if you guys have applied to a job or you've been putting yourself out there in regards to getting work, and you are a person who had not yet really put down roots and ever stuck with a position or a company for a really long time, I think that that could have something to do with childhood trauma that you are working to heal. And I do think that you might receive word from a job about receiving the position, about getting it. And then once you acquire the position, you're going to have to navigate through the work atmosphere. And you're going to, and the beautiful thing about this is that yes, it is going to help you create some of that stability and that structure that you are feeling more and more in your spirit that you need now, and that you're the one providing it for yourself. So congratulations to you for that. But you're going to have to learn how to, work with other people. You're going to have to learn how to let some things roll off your back so that you don't get triggered, or so that you don't just be like, F this job, let me go somewhere else. The way that typically, you could and you would. If this is a matter of love and things like that, I believe that there's going to be possibly a conversation that is had. Somebody could share information, somebody could share test results that, like, you may find, or someone may find, as soon as they open up their heart to their partner, that they receive some type of daunting news in regards to their health. Like, maybe even as, you know, heartbreaking as somebody has only a certain amount of time to live. You know, and that may be heartbreaking. Not gonna lie here, not gonna sit up here and act like it's not. Please excuse my tone of voice because right now I'm just detached from it and I'm trying to be objective. You know, what you can do is love. Make the best of this person's lifestyle while they are here. Sometimes people tend to live longer than what they were diagnosed to. And sometimes people absolutely are released from this body in the time frame that doctors predicted, and maybe even sooner, depending on that person's resolve and their choice to live. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people make a total recovery. It's a matter of having support. It's a matter of also gaining knowledge and figuring out what really needs to be done, and people being honest with themselves and making the necessary changes. It could be anything. But whatever this is, I really feel like the energy of this is going to be something kind of big. Like, you're not going to be able to just like turn a blind eye to whatever this thing is that you may experience loss and you may feel regret behind and da da da. Remember, Spirit says that there's going to be some things that are going to be resolved though. So all in all, this is really some beautiful energy good news coming. I think it may take growth, obviously, for some of us, you know, to really see it this way. But for those who are like me, who you pick up fairly quickly, and you are spiritual and tapped in, you're gonna know that this has really been a beautiful experience for you. And even though that there was some ugliness and there was some pain, baby, the lessons that you got and the powerhouse that is you to push through, to stand through the mist, it's going to be worth it. I'm telling you. That is all. That is the reading. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony, first within ourselves and then within our world. If you are new to this channel and you have made it thus far, thank you so much for sticking around. Go ahead, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know exactly how it made sense for you. And also, if you're new and have not subscribed to this channel, please be sure to do so. All right, bye.